Hi everybody, this is Rebecca TOTILO with Aroma Hut Institute. I am so glad you decided to join me. In this video, I want to talk about our essential oils and how we can use them for making homemade perfume. Now, before we get started in blending and doing something to try to create a composition for a perfume, we first need to become very familiar with our individual essential oils. So go ahead and grab your oils, because what I want to do is a little bit of an exercise with you. I'm going to walk you through this. So I want us to learn about each oil and look at its volatility rate. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Well, you're going to need to go ahead and get some perfume strips. Now, if you don't have these, I'm sure they're available on Amazon, and I'll post a link below. You also can just cut out some paper, maybe from the art store, and make your own perfume strips or blotters if you have. Let's go ahead and grab us an oil. Now, I'm going to be doing bergamot. Now, you can use any of your oils, it's up to you. Now, I've chosen this one because I do know that bergamot is a top note. At least that's what we've been told, right? So we're going to be able to prove that fact by doing this test. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is actually taking our perfume strip, and we're going to use the wide paddle end, and let's just go ahead and write the essential oil name down. And I'm going to also put a number 1 beside it because I want to make sure I note that this is the first time. Okay. And also, let's go ahead and look at their time. Okay. And we're going to write that down. Okay. So I'm just putting a note on there of the time that I'm doing this. So let's go ahead and open up our essential oil. You know how we all like to smell from the bottle? That's not the way you want to smell your oils for your perfume. We want to do it the right way. So what we do, I'm going to bend this right here, leaving about 1 inch or a couple inches here. Because what I'm going to do is turn this down, and I'm going to dip this right into the bottle here. Okay, got it nice and soaked here. And I'm going to just flip it right over and put it down on the desk. And that way this will be pointed up, right? It's going to be up like this, and it's going to be actually evaporating and drying down. Now just take your strip and just wave it under your nostrils about 3 or 5 inches away. Take a sniff. Allow the molecules to collect so that you can just let your brain get that information, right? Take another whiff. Let's take out a notebook or a journal, okay? And we want to just sort of make some notes about our blend or our essential oil. Now, I said blend, but that was sort of a Freudian slip, because you know what? There's hundreds of molecules and components in this one essential oil. So by smelling it, we are smelling a collection of essential oil molecules. So even in this, we're gathering the information and just sort of writing down our first impression. Okay, now I said to write the time. So what we want to do is put this down. And now we're going to wait 15 minutes. Okay? Oh, good. All right, it's been 15 minutes. Now we get to check our strips again. Now what I want you to do is to make notes now if there's any changes. Does it smell different than the first time you smelled it? Go ahead and write that down. Oh, and there's one more thing. We have to take another strip, and again, we're going to write that name down. Same oil, okay? Go ahead and write your name of the oil. But this time put number 2 on it. Okay. And again, we're noting the time. And guess what we're going to do? That's right. You're going to take the same oil out. Go ahead and bend that tip and dip it in. I know you're thinking, wait a minute, we just did that. You're right, we did. But now, you know what we're going to do? What we're going to do now is take this first one and take our second one, okay? Now, this is the first one we made. This is the second one. Smell that first one. Now smell the second one. Do you smell any difference? Remember, this is the fresher one, right? This one's been around for 15 minutes. Okay, we noted the times. Now we gotta wait 15 more minutes and then we're gonna compare them again, okay? Go. Okay, it's been another 15 minutes. Okay, so that means it's been about half an hour since the last time we did the first one, right? So we want to take both strips. Again, we're just comparing. But this time, focus on number 2 more, okay? We want to pay attention to this one because we want to note and write down our impressions of this compared to the first. And I think you're going to see there's some notable changes that have happened since it began to dry down. And you can also look at the color. Note the color of this one is sort of a greenish tinge to it and how it dries down and evaporates. Now, we're going to do this one more time, meaning that we've gone a whole hour in smelling these. So one more time. 15 more minutes. We're going to wait and see how they change even more. Okay, now it's been another 15 minutes. So again, we're focusing on the number 2. Checking the scent. Now the first. Are you seeing any changes happening here? And we want to do this for a whole hour, okay? So we're doing it at 15-minute intervals. And then continue to do it until you get the complete dry out, okay? Now when that emerges, that means the scent has basically gone. You're not really smelling it anymore, and that means that it's reached this volatility rate, right? Okay, so we're understanding now how long does it take before the scent is completely evaporated, right? These are very thin oils. This is the top note, so this one would go very fast. Okay, so go ahead now and write down in your journal just your impressions of the second strip. Okay, so we just want to make some notes and do that comparison again. Now, if you need help in some of your descriptions about the odor, and especially if you're planning on making perfume in a professional way, or if you want to sell it at some craft fairs or maybe on Etsy, in that case, you're going to need some help with how to describe your product, because people are going to want to know, well, what does it smell like, right? And so when you're making a perfume, you want to be able to describe it and give them a really wonderful, vivid picture in words of what it smells like. Now, in the book that I wrote on natural perfume with essential, I do give you a lot of descriptions and helping you with that so that you'll be able to use this as a guide when you're making your own perfume. Let's talk about how would we describe this fragrance or this essential oil that we're smelling. There's a lot of words and terms you can use, but in perfumery, this is very helpful because when you want to describe something for your client or your customer, They want to know, what does it smell like? And maybe they're not smelling it, but just seeing it, a picture on the internet or something. So there's a lot of words that we can use to describe an essential oil. Some would say, is it dry? Is it powder? Feel like powder to you, or smell like powder? Is it fresh? Is it stimulating? Now, in my exercise, I was using bergamot. So in bergamot, it's definitely citrusy or light. It's not crude. It's not harsh like a rosemary would be. It's a bit delicate. I sort of like that. And it's not musty. I wouldn't say it's rich. Rich, in my opinion, would be like rose or neroli. And it has a little bit of sharpness, not too much, but it is sweet. It's definitely pleasurable. I mean, this one just makes you feel like you want to just grab something and eat it, It's very fragrant, and it's got a nice softness to it and very smooth. So there's so many ways you can describe your essential oils, and you want to get familiar with them enough to be able to do that. So now we've waited another half an hour, right? And we've compared both of these strips. And now we're going to continue to look at these and smell them and check them again, continuing to look at that dry out period. And then we're going to write down our thoughts on that and how we look at it and when it finally disappears completely. Now, you'll be doing this again with all of your oils because you want to get to know them. You want to know their nuances and what is special about this oil. Why do you like this one over another? And that way, when you start to build your accord, you're going to know which ones to reach for. And also, I hang on to my strips. I use them as bookmarks, actually, when I'm finally finished with them. And sometimes I'll have them for a long time. They usually dissipate, after a few days, they'll lose their scent. But usually, throughout the weekend, when we're doing an in-person training, we have these the whole weekend, and people are able to pick them up and bring another one in from different oils. And that's how they build their accord, and they know what they like using their perfume strips. So these are easy to get. They're on Amazon, and it's a great investment. It's something you want to use so that you're not wasting your perfume or your essential oils making blends that turn out to be flops. Okay, I hope that was helpful to you. Thank you for watching. I hope that you will subscribe to our channel. If you haven't already, please do. Be sure and click that bell as well so that you'll get the notifications when we have a new video up. Thanks for watching.